Welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 234 as our Roundabout Division edition continues as we move on to the NFC East today. Thank you so much for watching. Troy West here as always. Thank you for watching the Solid Sports Gamer channel. Thanks for the latest support. We had a show today, of course, about the NFC East. So that's the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington Commanders. This is also another real interesting division in the NFC this time. And then next week we will stay at the NFC. We'll go to the North. So stay tuned for that next week. Thank you guys, like I said, for the support of late. Crash Team Rebels doing well. We might have some content. I'm gonna do a lot of content today. After I record this blog, I got off to a late start. It's almost 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where I am. I usually try to start recording at 9, but I didn't get up till 9. Took a nice shower, cleaned up a little bit. So I'm on a little late today. So the video might post right before noon, I'm guessing. So sorry for the late start. Usually it posts about 10:30 at the latest, depending on what's going on. But like I said, we're gonna cover the NFC East today. Other sports news, baseball about to go to the All-Star break. Mike Trout's hurt again. That's probably one of the biggest news in the MLB right now. My Atlanta Braves, who's got the best record in baseball right now, surpassing the Rays. Rays been sliding a little bit, so we'll see what happens after the break. NBA Summer League started a few days ago. Wemby, I wish once I start hearing his name more, I'll be able to pronounce it, hopefully. But he debuted yesterday. Didn't play great, but Summer League is like, well, it's even meaningless more than the preseason, but it's basically preseason. I think he just got to get used to the NBA level. Dame still haven't been moved yet. That's what I think the NBA world is waiting on. But like I said, this is going to be about football today. NFC. So like I said, I just give my take on each team and do it in alphabetical order. So this order don't mean this is how I think the division going to finish. I do a prediction show like I do normally right before the season starts, probably that Wednesday before that Thursday night game with Kansas City. I think they host Detroit to open the season. I believe that's the opening game this season on a Thursday night. So probably that Wednesday, depending on, that's a long time from now, so I don't know if I still be here. That's a whole other story to get into. But like I said, this is the alphabetical order, so this is no prediction at all. Even though the East, the AFC East last week, you could argue that's how it might really go. So but the first team up by alphabetical order is the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys, we know their history. Good in the 70s, sort of skate by the 80s, the 90s. They made a run, winning 3 titles. And since then, pretty much been, mediocre at the least. They had some great seasons, especially of late. But everybody just hoping, most Cowboys fans just hoping they get back there again. But a good off season. I think they did. I think they had a good off season. Traded for Stephon Gilmore to buffer up that defense. Micah Parsons, I think he's going to continue to improve. He hit a wall during the season, but I think he's going to improve. We'll see what Diggs do on the other side, him and Gilmore. So the Dallas defense is stout, but can the offense come around? That's going to be the question. But they made some moves there. And then Brandon Cooks, underrated receiver, but he's consistent. He's a very reliable deep threat. So maybe that can help Dallas. Can CeeDee Lamb take that next step? Because now he's probably the clear number 1 there. Got rid of Zeke though. Zeke walked. Zeke's still out there, haven't been signed yet. I think the running game sort of got some question marks. But it's all going to be up to Dak Prescott. I think depends on what season he has. Now I don't want to say he's overrated because he's had great seasons. He's had great moments. But I mean, the Cowboys is the Cowboys, America's team. So he's going to get extra attention regardless if it's good or bad. He's going to get extra attention. But I think he's like in the middle of the road. I don't think he's a horrible quarterback, but I think he still has to. He had to reach higher because he just haven't gotten it done, especially in postseason. So just like you know, it all comes down to all these teams. It all comes down to your quarterback. Can your quarterback be consistent? Can they make the big plays at the right time? That's always the case. And it's the case for the Cowboys. Everything else around them, it looks great. Can they knock off the Eagles? I'm still not sure about that. But they clearly it's a contender in the NFC, a wide open NFC to me. So let's check out their schedule. Let's go through their schedule real quick. See what they got. Who they play this season. I should have probably pulled it up before I started recording. Okay, yes, it is Detroit at Kansas City. That is the opening game of the season. Dallas play the Giants on a Sunday night, but we're gonna look at the rest of their schedule. That's week 1. So a division game. It seems like they've been playing the Giants. It seems like it's starting to become a tradition that they play the Giants on Sunday night every season. Seems like it happens every season. So Dallas. Let's see. Pull their schedule up. Okay, so yeah, I said Sunday night at the Giants. Then they go home the next week and face the New York Jets. That's, you know, we talked about the Jets last week. That's going to be a tough game. Aaron Rodgers has been torturing the Cowboys for years. Then they go on the road, face the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals, we'll get to them when it's time, but that's a team that's, you know, got a lot of question marks. New England come to Dallas the next week. Then a rematch, a Sunday night game at San Francisco and against the Niners. Then they go to Los Angeles. They probably stay out there and play the LA Chargers. That's a Monday night game. Then they get the LA Rams at home. Then they play the Eagles for the first time on the road. Then they get the Giants the second time. Then at Carolina, a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of experts starting to come around to the Panthers with that wide open NFC South. I don't necessarily agree, but we'll see. The Panthers could be a surprise team in the NFC. Then they get the Washington Commanders at home. Then they get Seattle. Seahawks was a surprise last year. Oh, sorry about this. Sorry about that. We're gonna have to restart everything. Let's see. Yeah. See, when I get the rambling, I'll be forgetting I gotta touch my controller. This is the playroom. I'll be hoping this doesn't happen, but it happens from time to time. So it's a little, if you had a PS4, you know about this app. It's a little interactive app. You can use the PlayStation camera, do little funny things with these things. But I use it to record. So I apologize again. So before we really interrupted. Yeah, they got a tough schedule, man. So we're in December. Eagles at the Cowboys, so that's their final meeting. I said they play Seattle, so they got a lot of tough games. Then at Buffalo, then at Miami. I think, like I said, I told you what I think about the Dolphins. I think they're going to be a formidable team. Lost Tua stay healthy. Then Detroit, another team that I'm real high on. That's a Monday night game in Dallas. And then they finish the season with the Washington Commanders in Washington. Very, very brutal schedule for the Cowboys. Can they, you know what I'm saying, can they get through the schedule? The early part of it is not bad, but the later part is going to be tough. So we're going to see what Dallas is made of. So the division game is going to mean a lot. And Dallas has done very well in the division. So we'll see. They got the team, though, to get through the schedule. They're going to be there at the end, at least in the playoffs. Don't know what they're going to do after that. But like I said, it's going to all depends on Dak Prescott. But Dallas is definitely a contender in the NFC, and the wide open, like I said, the NFC with a lot of teams with question marks. So, all right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the New York Giants. They next on the list here, alphabetical order, like I said. Let me pull up their schedule before I even get into them. But biggest thing with them right now, offseason wise, is Saquon Barkley. He wants a new contract. Seem like things ain't going well. As of right now, I don't think he's under contract. I think they franchised him and he hadn't signed it. So that's going to be hopefully something they figure out in the next few weeks. But they're going to need him to keep this offense moving. But can they improve? They was a surprise last year. The Giants, they made the playoffs, had that good game against Minnesota in the wild card round, which I was surprised. I thought Minnesota was going to make a little bit of a run until they ran into the Niners or the Eagles, but that didn't happen. Giants beat them. But Daniel Jones, I guess he's the biggest question mark. Again, that quarterback, can he improve his game? He's athletic. He can move. They run him in some read options sometimes. That game against Minnesota, I gave it to him. He threw the ball very, very well. Was on time with his throws in that game. Saquon had a good game as well. But it's going to depend on Daniel Jones. Now the defense, pretty stout, pretty average, a little above average, I would say. Can that side of the ball keep things going? They had some games with question mark games last season, but we'll see if the Giants defense improved. They did get Darren Waller. I was asking myself that question, where did he go? I knew he would move from the Raiders, but can he improve the offense? Maybe be another weapon for Daniel Jones. Hopefully so. But the Giants, I don't know. That's why we're about to look at their schedule here. Like I said, the NFC is open, so they could still maybe find another spot in the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna win the division, or could really compete for it. But I think they could probably compete for a wild card spot again. In a wide open NFC, we'll see how they shake out for them. But let's look at their schedule. Then we'll move on. They played Dallas opening Sunday. We said that opening Sunday night. Then they go to Arizona the next week. Then Thursday night game at San Francisco. Then Seattle comes to New York. That's a Monday night game. We're in October now. The Giants at the Dolphins. That's going to be a tough game. At the Bills. So they got the AFC East this year. And that's probably why the schedule's going to be so hard for all these teams. Then they get Washington. Then all New York Giants and Jets. That should be an interesting game. Then Giants at the Raiders. So we're all going to get to play against his old team in Vegas. Then at Dallas for the second time. Get Washington for the second time. Then they get the New England Patriots at home. Then Green Bay, Monday night game. That's going to be an interesting game. The Packers without Aaron Rodgers, we know what they are by then. We're in December now. At New Orleans. Then at Philadelphia for the first time. Then they get the Rams, and then they get the Eagles to end the season at home. Like I said, it's kind of tough schedule because there was a playoff team last year, but like I said, playing against the AFC East makes the schedule a little bit stronger. But in the NFC, like I said, it's wide open. Maybe the Giants. They got to get Barkley though. They got to get that figured out to help with this offense. I think if he's not there, I think it's gonna be a little tougher for him. But it seems like, I ain't gonna say it always works out, but I think they're gonna figure out something, or I don't know what, but I think they're gonna figure out that. But it could take probably be close to the season though, when they figure out what Saquon going to do here. So, but the Giants, like I said, they're an interesting team. Wouldn't be surprised if they make the playoffs, but it's gonna be tough, definitely, with the schedule and in the AFC, NFC East. Definitely gonna be tough. All right, let's move on. If you good with the alphabet, you know who team is next. The Philadelphia Eagles, defending NFC champions. They had, they buffered their team a little bit. Jalen Hurts, what a season he had last year. Probably would have won MVP, but he got hurt. Sort of similar to what Carson Wentz did for these Eagles. They made the Super Bowl pretty similar, like I said, pretty mirror season, really, in certain ways. But just that Hurts, came back and actually played. Wentz was out the rest of the season. And the Eagles won, so that was the two big differences as well as they. So, but the Eagles, and now that I live in South Jersey, as Eagles fans here, they excited already, ready to go for this season. But I guess I wrote here, is it the NFC dares to lose? I think so. I think other than Dallas, like I said, Dallas is going to be formidable. In the North, we'll talk about next week. There's no clear-cut team. I like Detroit probably better than I like any of those teams right now. Minnesota's lost some key pieces. Green Bay, of course, lose Aaron Rodgers, and the Bears are still trying to come up. Out west, San Francisco, like I said, they're a strong team all over, but the quarterback, will Purdy be ready in week 1? Will it be Trey Lance? I think that's going to hinder the Niners. Rams is a question mark. Is Matthew Stafford regained his form? Cardinals is a question, as I said. So there's no team there out there. Seattle, like I said, they was. Can they do what they did last year? Them and the Giants was probably the two biggest surprises in the NFC for sure. The South, I like New Orleans more than I like Carolina, but a lot of people was coming around to Carolina. I think the rookie from Ohio State is going to do his thing and do enough to win that division. I don't think so. I believe in Derek Carr more than most people do. Yeah, he's been in the league a while and has hit his head, but I think being in a new culture, I think I like New Orleans better than I like Carolina. Now, Tampa and Atlanta, don't know what they're going to get. Tampa with Baker Mayfield is a question mark. He can turn it on. I mean, if he in the right situation, he can be formidable. But the rest of the Tampa Bay's team, you're not sure about the defense. They lost some guys. Atlanta is to me is sneaky. They made some small improvements, but I don't think not enough to be a contender. So I would have to say the answer to that question is yes. Like the Eagles definitely is favorites again, to me, unless San Francisco figure out their quarterback situation. Dallas, like I said, Dallas is just because they're Dallas. It's like they just always just mess up somewhere. In Detroit, you just can't, like I said, it's the Lions, so it's like you know. But those are teams, like I said, I think that could be in the way, but I think the Eagles are head above shoulders everybody so far. And Jalen Hurts, I believe this was a fluke, and that's the thing with all these teams. Was the Giants a fluke? Was Seattle a fluke? Was the team that we really saw last year? Especially those two teams. But I think this Jalen Hurts thing is for real. There's rumors out there that they might try to get Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry a little unhappy in Tennessee. If that happens, then that's gonna be nuts. The Eagles' offense is gonna be crazy with AJ Brown, the young Smith on the other side. That offense would be pretty much unstoppable if they get Derrick Henry in that backfield. But I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. It's just a rumor. But if that happens, that's gonna be crazy. But I really believe in Jalen Hurts. He's done it in college. He's always improved. He got better. And I think he can handle the pressure. Now his expectations are high because the Eagles wasn't a big surprise, but you didn't expect them to be this good. I thought Dallas would win that division last year. The Eagles shown they hit above shoulder, so we're gonna see. Like I said, the fans around here is nuts, going nuts, and I think they got a right to be. We'll see what happens with the Eagles. Let's look at the schedule real quick, and then we'll finish off with the Washington Commanders. They get the Patriots to begin the season in New England. They get Minnesota Thursday night at home, their first home game. Then at Tampa, that's a Monday night game, early Monday night game, so it must be a doubleheader that night somewhere. Then they get Washington at home. Then at LA for the Rams. Then at the New York Jets. Then they get Miami Sunday night. That should be a fun game. That's a game I'm actually looking forward to watching. Eagles, then they get the Commanders on the road. Then they get Dallas at home. Then they go to Kansas City, Monday night game. That should be a fun game. Buffalo come to Philadelphia the next week. Then they get a rematch with the Niners. We're in December now at home. Then at Dallas Sunday night. At Seattle. Seattle's always a tough place to play. Then they get the Giants. And then Arizona comes to Philadelphia. Then they finish with the Giants to end the season. Like I said, I mean, just because of the Eagles, they got a tough stretch. Like this stretch at Chiefs, then home with Buffalo and San Francisco. That's a tough 3-game stretch right there. So we'll see how they get through that part. But the Eagles, like I said, Super Bowl rematch with the Chiefs, that should be a fun game. But they schedule, like I said, because of the Eagles, it's like, you know, it don't feel harder than like the other teams I read off. Like Dallas, see, like they schedules a little bit more brutaler. So is the Giants. It's probably because I'm measuring if I think they can beat those teams or not. But the Eagles, I think they will have a chance to win every game this season. So, and like I said, I think they're clearly the best team in the NFC. So hopefully, like I said, the fans are out here already. So we'll see how the Eagles do this year. They should do very well, unless barring injury, and that's with every team, barring the injuries around the league. So, alright, so we got one team left, the Washington Commanders. This one shouldn't take long. No disrespect to the Commanders, but they got a lot going on, mostly off the field. New ownership is coming in, I think before the season starts. So you gotta take that into consideration. But the thing about them is, like last year, they was a 500 team, 8-1. Sam Heineke showed some promise. They're going to this kid Howe this year, so they got question marks there. But the new ownership, I tried to read a little bit about it. Daniel Snyder sold the team, pretty much was forced to sell the team. He just, there was the scandals going on behind the scenes, just how the Commanders have done. Went through the name change from, that name. I'm not going to say it out of respect, but that was hard. The Commanders just don't roll off the tongue like the old name did. I mean, I guess I grew up, and I've rooted for this team at one point because, like I said, I'm from Baltimore. We have a team until '96. So when the Washington went to the Super Bowl, it was in '92, and they beat the Buffalo Bills. That was my really first football game I really got into. That's when I really started getting into football. So this team got a good history, but probably since then, been up and down. Like just at any team, you have a good year here and there, but not consistent. Haven't really had a quarterback either, really. Jason Campbell was a good quarterback for them. Kirk Cousins, I think they should have probably hung in with Kirk Cousins a little longer. Now you look at it in hindsight, maybe they should have went ahead and paid the guy, because he's not bad. He just got a ceiling. But maybe they should have kept him longer, but they let him go. Like I said, had some decent teams over the years. Now I believed in this team. What was it? 2 years ago, I had to win the division because of the defense. And what's going on with Chase Young? His trade rumors out there and all this other stuff. Hopefully they figure that out. He had a bad season last year. But we'll see how this team does. Like I said, it's always a surprise in NFL. I don't see them being one. But then with the new ownership and things going on, we don't know how this quarterback going to be. Just too many question marks for the Commanders. See, I slipped up and said Redskins anyway. But I don't see. I see this being a couple of rebuilding years for them. Maybe they get a high pick of the draft and get the kid from USC, Caleb. Yeah, I think his last name is Caleb, but the USC quarterback, get him. That could change some things. Bill Bellamy, OC, used to be the OC for the Chiefs. Let's see what he could do with this offense. So you got reasons to be optimistic as a Commanders fan, but I think this year it's going to be a rough one. All right, let's look at their schedule though. They begin the season with the Cardinals at home. Then they go to Denver, face the Broncos in Denver. They get Buffalo at home. Then they face the Eagles for the first time on the road. Get the Chicago Bears at home. Then at Atlanta. Then go to New York to face the Giants. Then get the Eagles for the second time. And then they go to New England. Then at Seattle. Then they get the Giants at home. Then they get the Cowboys. I think that's the Thanksgiving matchup. Home for the Miami Dolphins. On the road for the Rams. Then they go to the New York Jets. Then they get the Niners at home, and then they end the season with the Dallas Cowboys at home. So yeah, some winnable games in there, but it's gonna be a tough road for them, like I said. But they got some winnable games, like the Bears. Like I said, they don't know, the Falcons got some question marks. Maybe the Rams. Maybe you think they got maybe a shot at that game. Maybe, well, depends on how Denver's a wild card team, but we'll talk about them. And the Cardinals, maybe they pretty much the only games you give them a shot at. The rest of it, like any of the division games, maybe the Giants, depends on how they plan, but they got a tough schedule. Maybe max 6-7 games for them to win, so we'll see. But they got a lot of things going on, like I said, the ownership and everything else, and they clearly got a hill to climb, not alone in the NFC in this division. So we'll see what Washington do this year. So that is it. We went through all 4 teams. Like I said, if you're watching, definitely comment or what you think about any of these 4 teams, what you think about what I said. Like I said, sorry for the late start today. Just some final thoughts. Like I said, nothing else going on. If I'm still waiting on a Dane trade, or if something big going on, I do some shorts. I ain't done no shorts in about a week. I've been trying to keep up with my community tab and my shorts, but just have it. But I'm definitely putting out a lot of content today. Like I said, a lot of Crash Team Rumble. We're gonna do a Rip-a-Roo video that's coming in a few hours. We're gonna play some Hades. I might go live. I did go live last week, but I might go live this time. I don't know if it's gonna be Crash Team Rumble or Hades. I think Crash Team Rumble might get a little bit more buzz, so I might do the Crash Team Rumble live on air. Other than that, man, like I said, the subscribers were going up slowly. I'm at 156, so I think I was at 150 or I think I was at 146 about a week ago. So I gained 10 subscribers within the last about week and a half. So thanks for that. Sonic Origins, that's enough. That's what I gotta do. I messed up on that. I'm gonna explain it when I do the video, but what was that? What's the zone? The Metropolis zone. Like in between that, it's a zone. Well, right after that, it's a zone called Sky Chase. I played it and I beat it, but I didn't save the video right, and I can't go backwards and play it again unless I start the whole game over and just work my way up to that. So I'm just gonna skip that, but you'll see it with Amy anyway, because I'm gonna play a solo one with Amy. So there's a lot of Amy videos coming, and I might do some of those Game Gear videos as well, so keep an eye out for that. But I'll explain that in the video before I start that video. But yeah, Crash Team Rumble, Call of Duty, I don't know, me and my bro, we kicked it last night. I should have saved it, or I don't know, I might go live with that. So look out for that. So Call of Duty, I finally unlocked that gun for the season 3, so a lot of content today. So I'm gonna do is just put this video together, put it up. I'm gonna make a little run. I want to make a little run to the store. When I come back, I start doing some content. So want to have a good day of content today. Thank you guys for joining me. Next week is the NFC North, another very interesting division. I'm high on the Lions. We'll see how high I am on them next week. Packers, of course, new regime now that Aaron Rodgers gone. Vikings have taken a step back as far as personnel. Can they continue? And the Chicago Bears, some teams, you know, thinking that might be a surprise team this year. Willie, Justin Fields turned the corner. So all these questions will be asked next week. And then after that is the AFC North. We're gonna have a special show for that. Me being a Ravens fan, I got a coworker of mine. He's gonna come join me. He's gonna actually be on the phone with me. We will both give our thoughts on the AFC North. So that's gonna be a fun show in 2 weeks. But next week is the NFC North. Throughout the week, like I said, I have content. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Like I said, sorry about the late start. The video probably posts around noon. Appreciate you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for watching this episode 234 of the Solid Sports Video Blog. The NFL Roundabout Division Series special. NFC East is in the books. I'm Troy West. Enjoy your weekend. Peace and love always. Thank you so much for the support.